I also loosely identify myself with Vietnamese culture. Both my parents are Vietnamese, but I don't have a great sense of cultural identity.
I would say mostly Hispanic-wise, because I lived in Mexico for a while with my parents, and I'm fluent in Spanish, and I just know more things about Mexican culture than my black culture.
I guess I identify the word culture with just how you're brought up and the surroundings you're within. So I guess I would say I more identify with the urban culture, just because that's what I was immersed in from Tacoma. So that's the people I've been around with, the events that I've gone to, have all sort of tied around there.
I would say I identify myself with the Indian culture because my parents are from India. I'm a first generation, I guess, immigrant. So I would identify myself with that culture as well as American culture, just because I was born in America, I was brought up in America. So I've taken on a lot of the American ideals and values having grown up here.
Probably a tie between the Persian culture and LA culture.
And why?
Why? Oh, because I'm an Iranian American who was born and raised in LA, and I love LA.
Basically, I just stay connected with my culture with my parents. They taught me everything I know. They, just things they did as kids and just things they've learned over time. They teach me and my brothers.
Me specifically, I took a trip over to Ireland to kind of track our family history and go back and meet up with some of the family that we still have over there. And just kind of like reading up on our history and coming out and figuring where we came from and where our ties are.
Well, my grandpa lives in Colville, and I know, like, when I was younger, I used to go to some of the cool little Indian dance things that they do and, like, potluck things.
Participating or being involved with people that share similar cultural backgrounds that are from the same place, and even sometimes different ones.
Pretty much, I guess, through family, culture, traditions is a huge part of Italian culture. We have the same values as a traditional Italian family.
Going to church.
Yeah, so participating in traditional festivals, or I guess just maintaining a connection with your family.
Stay involved and in touch with people who are also in that culture.
I think it's kind of important because it kind of makes you the person you are. It helps you be the person. I don't know, it just teaches you a lot of things. Like, I've learned a lot of things that different people don't know. I was raised a little bit different.
I do. I think it's really important. I think makes you feel more connected and have a sense of belonging with your family and kind of where you came from.
The best thing people can have is a diverse collection of cultures, and that way they can experience everything. Sort of, I think sometimes people get locked so much into their own culture that they forget about what else is out there. And
I think it is. I think if you're privileged enough to be associated with a certain culture or have that background within your family, I think it's important to embrace that and important to keep that tradition going.
Yeah, because it has a lot to do with your identity and who you are as a person. It kind of just tells people who you are. It kind of tells you who you are.
I feel confused.
Probably lost and lonely.
I feel pretty, I don't know, insignificant. Almost like you just don't have something to belong to. You don't have like anyone to relate with, type thing.
I'd feel fine because I relate myself more to family and friends than to culture.
I don't know if that's necessarily possible, because again, I think that culture is defined based on who you know and what environment you're in. So I feel like even though people don't readily identify with a culture, everyone has something.
I feel like I was missing out.
Empty.
You just have no morals, I guess. Like, it'd be weird because you're not connected to anything. just be by yourself?
I guess you'd feel kind of naked in a sense because you don't really have anything to hold on to. There's nothing driving your values, your morals, your ideals.
Positive. I'm gonna, make sure my kids learn and know exactly like the same thing my dad taught me and my mom taught me.
That's definitely really important because your heritage, I think, is something that really makes you as a person, and if you don't keep track of that, then everyone's kind of the same and it just gets kind of bland. And
like if you have something to represent, then I feel it's good to be proud of that and represent it.
To maintain that culturally, but other cultures sort of foster themselves, and it's like a lifestyle choice, so I don't think you need to pass those down by families. So.
I guess it's important because I want to keep my culture alive.
I think I'm going to do my best to, pass what I know on to my children and their children.
I feel like it's important to give them the opportunity to embrace their culture or whatever, but I'm not gonna push it on them or
I will pass it. I would love to pass it on. I want my kids to be happy they're Persian. Did you not know about the Persian Empire and ancient civilizations? Holy crap!
Heard they conquered Babylonia.
We were amazing. All right.
Babylon.
Yet we were tolerant. We were good.
Oh,
people.
very tolerant. Sirius Cylinder. Heard about it?
Yeah, except for
Sirius
LA.
Cylinder. Connection to the readings.
Whatever he said.
I feel like it's really important that we just don't stick with just one culture or your own culture. If you listen or learn different things from other cultures, I feel like in the end you just learn a lot more. It just makes everyone better as a whole.
You kind of learn to balance yourself with society as a whole because even though it's really diverse, people kind of come together and form a new culture. So
I think it's good that you keep your unique qualities, but at the same time understanding and learning about others and being sensitive to their culture as well, but then also at the same time creating one large global culture.
I guess I feel like it's just an important thing to do is to make sure you have some cultural ties, and again, to have as many as possible, because I don't think that focusing yourself in one cultural area, yeah, that might be who you identify with, but I think it makes you a better person by experiencing other cultures, and vice versa is sharing your culture with others.
It makes you stand out. Your culture is different from everyone else's, and it's important that you realize that.